Welcome to In the Badger's Burrow by Velvet Aura, where we talk about all things physical to spiritual and everywhere in between. I'm your host Robyn, and I'm so happy to have you here in the burrow with me to listen along as we embrace the Badger's fierce medicine of supporting your own radical healing and transformation. Now that you've entered the burrow, root down and let's begin. Hello everyone, so happy to have you back here with me. Just to start, let's take a few deep breaths because for me at least, Mercury retrograde has been very effective this time and I have very much felt it in my brain, in my body. I feel very, very busy at the moment. So trying to find some pockets of time in your day to just bring yourself back to center might do you a little bit of good. So if you can, if you're in a safe place, just shutting down the eyes, soften the jaw, soften the navel, rolling the eyes deep into the third eye space between the brows, and just coming to make an O with your mouth, almost as if you're using a straw for a really, really thick milkshake. You're going to inhale through the mouth, hold at the top, and through the nose, exhale. Just bring yourself back into the room. Okay, I hope you're feeling a little bit more grounded, and let's begin with today's episode. I'm quite excited because today we're going to be talking about a holiday on the medicine wheel called Lughnasadh. So Lughnasadh or Lammas takes place on August 1st, which is this Friday. It's a harvest festival to celebrate the first agricultural harvest of the year. And what we're going to talk through in this episode are the themes of this holiday, with some ideas on activities that you can do to align with this time of year, because here at Velvet Aura, one of our core values includes living in tandem with nature's cycles in order to live a healthier life. So, diving right into it, as this is a harvest festival, the themes for the celebration are that of gratitude and release. This is a time of year when our ancestors would be harvesting their first round of crops, so that's where the element of gratitude comes in, where they're grateful for the harvest that they've gained. I also know that from a Celtic perspective, this celebration wasn't just for the crops that they were able to gather, but it was also an invitation for self-reflection where they can really look at what they have achieved and accomplished and what they can be proud of and grateful for in that regard. As I was saying, this celebration is also about release as well as gratitude, and essentially that comes from the symbolic act of, as you are reaping the harvest, you are cutting away something in order to take on what you are gaining. And so because of this also invites a time for self-reflection, but in that regard too. When it comes to ways to align with this celebration today, I personally highly recommend focusing on themes in regard to self-reflection. What projects or goals had you set for yourself earlier on in the year? What results are you able to reap from the hard work you've put in since you set those goals? This doesn't have to just be set in career, but any other areas of your life, from relationships to health, whatever you've been working on for yourself really. Just allow yourself to celebrate you and the accomplishments that you've achieved. Looking at the angle of release, I wouldn't say this is as heavily focused on shadow work compared to other phases of the medicine wheel during the darker times of the year, like in autumn and winter, but this is more so a time to gift yourself clear focus and observation, really having discernment on what can genuinely now be ticked off as complete out of your accomplishments, as opposed to potentially allowing yourself to keep lingering on for the final tweaks to really allow perfectionism to really get its grip on you. Do you really need to keep focusing on learning more and more about a topic, or can you trust yourself to know enough and feel confident in yourself? Do you need to apply more internalizations, or are you simply ready for the next phase? What's working and what isn't? And although release is obviously a theme of this celebration, I do think that it's okay if you don't spend so much time on the release themes of it and allow yourself to spend more time on the themes of gratitude and bringing in more of those positive vibrations, more of that love, that alignment with abundance basically. Give yourself permission to be excited and proud of yourself and just have fun with it. Now a quick word to talk a little bit about what's going on at Velvet Aura at the moment. As you may already know, Velvet Aura is a brand to help normalize sacred practices, because I truly believe that if we can help weave the sacred back into our lives, it can help us to feel more fulfilled and live healthier lives as well, from physical to spiritual and everywhere in between, as you know. So one of the offerings that we have is Shamanic Kundalini Yoga, taught by yours truly. This is an ancient and future-facing practice of Kundalini Yoga through the lens of shamanism. The practice heals physical, emotional, and spiritual imbalances by removing energy blocks, and invites the practitioner to meet with their innate healer within and to return to the connection to their true self. It is truly a beautifully powerful, transformative practice, and I cannot praise it enough. At Velvet Aura, we have in-person gatherings, which you can see on our website and on our socials, and we are also going to be offering online classes. We are currently thinking of Tuesday evenings, but if you go onto our website, we do have a little form that you can vote for the day that works best for you. So once we see which day is going to be most convenient for the majority, then we're going to go with that one to hopefully be as helpful as we can. Another offering that we have is tarot readings, and these are readings that are done online, and the cards are a really beautiful tool for growth and inner reflection, and they really bring a sense of relief, I find, because you can really see through the cards that the universe has got your back, and you have a spiritual team that really understand your journey, and they are there to support you. I always find that it brings a real sense of peace when I have a card reading, to really remember that. So we do have those on our website as well. And finally, the other offering that we have is we sell crystals. This has been the newest addition to our offerings, and I absolutely love them. They are such a highlight in my life. I have been working with crystals for perhaps a decade now, or maybe even more, and they bring so much joy, not only with their properties that they possess, but also just with their beauty and the way they can elevate your home space. They can really make you feel more aligned and happy when you just see these beautiful pieces in your space. So our current collection is called Tall Glass of Frequency. We do have a few left, so if you're interested and you feel that a crystal is wanting to come home with you, then I highly recommend you go take a look on our website and see if any of the crystals are speaking to you. So if any of these offerings sound exciting, then please take a look at www.velvetauraliving.com. Okay, now back to the episode. Welcome back. So now that we've talked about the themes of this celebration, I'm going to break down a couple of ideas of genuine activities that you might want to incorporate this week to really align with the holiday that greets us on the Friday. So the first recommendation that I have is going to be doing journal work of some kind. And no, this is not biased, because I understand that I have an obsession with stationery and productivity, but I have not let that sway my judgment of my recommendations to you. Journaling is a great activity to do for this celebration, because you can focus on your gratitude and your reflection of release. So you can ask yourself questions such as, what has come to fruition in my life? What am I willing to release to make room for something new? And where have I overextended myself, and where do I need balance? And obviously you can do a good old traditional gratitude list where you list everything from A to Z that you are grateful for in your life, anything that's small or big. So some examples, I don't know, I always start with dogs, just because, like, come on, obviously dogs, the nature around me, the trees, the beautiful flowers, all of the loved ones in my life, my friends, my family, anything. Even cupcakes, I don't know, whatever you're into, whatever you're grateful for, no matter how small it is, write it down and allow that to fuel the positive frequency of gratitude within you. Another activity that I recommend would be taking time to honor your ancestors. So there's fun ways that you can go about this. I've seen a lot of people like to write letters to their ancestors and just keep the letter to themselves, perhaps in their diary or in a scrapbook, but you can write to them saying what you are currently up to in your life, share what's going on, what you're excited about, but also saying thank you to them for the path that they have paved for you to walk, and just taking a little moment to send them some love. You don't have to write a letter to them, obviously. If you have the practice of prayer in your life, you can pray to them and say hello that way, or whatever you feel is a great way to honor your ancestors. Try and incorporate that this week or even on the Friday. Little moon magic for you with this next recommendation. So this Friday, Lughnasadh lands on the first quarter, and what that essentially means in regards to aligning with the moon cycle is the first quarter is when you begin to take physical action, aligned action with the intentions that you set on the new moon. So if aligning with the moon is already a part of your everyday life, then you may already have your intentions. So use this Friday to really show the moon that you are committed, to show yourself that you're committed, because that's the most important part. And yeah, take some aligned action towards your intentions. Another thing to think about in regards to physical action around this time is you may want to incorporate a few more grounding practices in your life at the moment, because since the last medicine wheel celebration, the days have only been getting shorter. And with that, it means that autumn and winter are in sight slowly but surely, and that will be a time when we go more inward and we really retreat for further shadow work and self-reflection. So allowing yourself to lay down the groundwork of what you want your life to look like, to ease yourself into that space, can be helpful. Whether that's morning walks, grounding on the earth, or doing some meditative breaths or meditation itself, or you may want to practice some shamanic kundalini, which you know I'm going to be rooting for because I am a shamanic kundalini yoga teacher, so I absolutely adore it. It could even just be having a simple lovely cup of herbal tea when you have the time windows in your day to just have a moment with yourself. If you wanted to really amplify this experience, you can always incorporate a crystal. I would personally use a clear quartz geode, which we actually have at Velvet Aura. We call them light allies, but I would use this because clear quartz is such a beautiful crystal for amplifying any intention. It doesn't matter what it is, it helps with whatever you are working on. Moving on to some more activities that you can try, I would recommend that as this is a celebration, you should be celebrating with your loved ones, so spending time with them. Perhaps you want to have a dinner all together so you can be surrounded by people in your life that you're grateful for. You could get your friends together and have a little session where you all talk about all the great things going on in your life to really honor one another and celebrate one another. Find a way where you can really allow yourself to have fun on this day, because at the end of the day, it is a holiday, it is a festival, it's meant to be enjoyed. Another practice that I think is really wonderful and encourages us to really align with nature's rhythms is visiting your local farmers market, buying the fruit and vegetables that are in season at this time. So in the UK at least, for August, you're looking at the most delicious fruit and veg. There is so much in season. We're talking berries like blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. We're talking cherries, we're talking plums, nectarines, we're talking beetroot, we're talking broad beans, French beans, runner beans, courgettes, new potatoes. So many delicious fruit and veg. I think that you will not struggle to find some at the moment. You can also adorn your home with decorations that align with this festival as well. So that's crystals such as citrine, which is a crystal for abundance, which if that's of interest to you and is calling your name, we do also happen to have some at Velvet Aura. And maybe think about getting some flowers into your home that are in bloom at the moment. So again, in the UK, that's flowers like dahlias, hydrangeas, rosies, or those beautiful wild poppies. Just really finding ways to bring beauty into the home, so when you're in your home environment, you're really sparked with joy. And of course, I did mention this earlier, but other practices that I love to incorporate at any celebration on the medicine wheel includes shamanic kundalini yoga, not only for its benefits for physical and mental, emotional health, but also for the way it allows you to dance with and support your own energetic well-being. It just really is such a beautiful practice, and honestly, ask anyone that knows me, I recommend it to anyone. And last but not least, I love to do a tarot card reading to have that moment of reflection even more, but also to have a little bit of insight about what's to come. And I really think that doing tarot card readings on the holidays of the medicine wheel are great bookmarks, so to speak, so you can really keep checking in with yourself through the cards. Okay, and with that, the episode is coming to the end. Thank you so much for listening to the full episode if you made it here. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot, and I hope that you found this information really valuable, and let me know if you incorporate any of these activities in your week to help celebrate Lughnasadh. I'm wishing you a wonderful celebration on Friday and sending you lots and lots of love. Also, if your ears propped up when I mentioned the properties of the crystals earlier in this episode, I highly recommend that you check out the last episode where I spoke with Carol Roach, who is GIA accredited, and she is just full of wisdom about all things crystals. So please check that episode out if you have not already. Thank you so much again, and until next time, bye!